Welcome to DMV Sports Media here live at Milford Mill. We have a proper tie here between Das Bierhalle and Baltimore Kickers, two of the more historical sides here in the Super Soccer League. A lot on the line for both of these. Well, not really for Das Bierhalle. Das Bierhalle has sealed that third seed, but Baltimore Kicker has a lot to play for as they're fighting relegation here in the Super Soccer League Division 1. A win here today goes a long way. They have to win both of their next two games to have a fighting chance to stay up in the Division 1. And we are underway here at Milford Mill. Baltimore Kickers in the red going from left to right, and Das Bierhalle in the gray going from right to left. It's going to be a very exciting matchup here. For Baltimore Kickers, as I was mentioning, must win from here on out to stay up. They're fighting ambitions to stay into the Division 1. Ambition, obviously, a team that has found a terrible form as of late, and Baltimore Kickers are starting to find some kind of form late in the season. Das Bierhalle being a team that's full of talented players, aging but talented. One of them just touched the ball there. Mulville, keeper extraordinaire for Das Bierhalle. He's been with them for a very long time. A lot of these players have been. Players to look out for are Kyle Fowler. He's always a top player for Das Bierhalle, and as well as two players that I would say, one being a goal scorer is Dylan Holy, number 25, and Brad McKim, number 20. Both have been fundamental for the success of Das Bierhalle. On the other hand, you have Baltimore Kickers, who are a relatively new team, or not new team, but young team is what I meant to say. A lot of new names on the roster. The goalkeeper, James Colham. It's going to go out for a throw-in for Das Bierhalle. Early on, Das Bierhalle is going to do what they do and try to slow down the tempo, keep the rhythm in their favor. There goes McKim getting taken out by Baltimore Kickers. Has Fowler standing over top of it. So very small Das Bierhalle team. Only 3 substitutions on the bench. It's going to be a long day for the Bierhalle. And it's a service over the top and couldn't find his target. That was Reed Hawkins, the intended target, and well defended, just soar over him. Shout out to the fans that have come out here today because it is scorching hot. So we're gonna see some water breaks here in the first and in the second half. Much needed. That's Kevin Garcia, number 10, who's making waves. What a beautiful move! A cutback, plays it out to his teammate, and seals out the attack. Well defended from Das Bierhalle. That's a player to look out for. Kevin Garcia already showing why he was brought on. One of the later additions to this kicker side. And there's McKim, the powerhouse. McKim gets taken out, and a foul here for the Bierhalle. It's number McKim. Every time I see him on the ball, he's just absolutely a powerhouse. Usually ends up getting fouled to get that ball taken off his feet, but we'll see what Das Bierhalle does with it. It's Fowler, the one and only, sitting over top of the ball. Here comes the service, sent it in. Can he find his teammate? He does, but no direction on that. Just Header just hit it out wide. We'll see what response Baltimore Kickers has. Welcome to all those in the stream. This is DMV Sports Media. Do make sure you hit that subscribe, like, comment, and engage. We have a great matchup on our hands here. With me, Mr. Dono Wallace on the camera, potential color. I don't know if I can get him to talk. But Dono says hello. Gio Monteroso on the call for you today. And here comes Baltimore kicker, but it's Mulville that says not today. Here comes Baltimore Kickers trying to make something here. Baltimore Kickers being a team that's kind of reinvigorated their identity as of late. A team that was full of vets and now full of young players or new players. And it's Das Bierhalle that's under control again. Great movement from Das Bierhalle. Tries to play on his teammate, but only to find a defender. And it's Baltimore Kickers who turns it over. And just like that, recuperates. That was Matt Ellis, the guilty party, but made up for his mistake. Here's one of those additions we spoke about. Coming down the wing, number 2, Aiden Groves. Back with Groves. Groves sends it across, but only to find a Das Bierhalle defender. It's so weird to see Das Bierhalle without Ostrowski. I'm so used to seeing him in that jersey, but today they have to get on without him. Ostrowski just being a huge piece to this offensive and defensive side for Das Bierhalle. All-around player, to be honest. But Das Bierhalle is not a one-man show. Great movement. Sean Scarletta, who pulled that lovely turn right there. Now it's Fowler. Fowler couldn't control the touch. That was Betta. A little too excited there. Oh, do apologize there. Today is going to be full of action-packed matches. Right after this, we'll have Slancha versus Etihad. Slancha obviously sealed the promotion into this Division One. We'll be seeing them square off with Das Bierhalle shortly, but I'll hold that thought as here comes Das Bierhalle. What a tackle from Groves. That was George Richard who was trying to create something. I thought it was a tackle from Groves, but apparently not. It was a mishit from Richard. As we were saying, Slancha, who has earned the promotion, will be squaring off with Das Bierhalle next season in the fall. We'll see them take on Etihad later on today, followed by some festivities. Das Bierhalle also some festivities as they sealed the third place. And a reminder, this spring season. There will be no playoffs for the Maryland side, but there are 3 cash prizes for third, second, and first. So they'll be happy to receive that. It's an injured player for Baltimore Kickers. I don't think Coach Len has seen it. Oh, he has, since on his screw to check on his player. I can't see who that player is. I did not see who went down. We'll get the name shortly. We do hope he's okay. We never want to see a player injured, especially this at all, but especially this early on in the match with so much at stake for the Baltimore Kicker side. Referees have gone ahead and authorized the water break as they attend to the injured player here. Very early on, Bierhalle being the one controlling rhythm, tempo, and Baltimore Kickers will slowly grow into this. Baltimore Kickers have a full roster today. We're talking 7 subs, so they will not be struggling when it comes to energy or substitutions. Reminder, here it's a Super Soccer League. It's unlimited substitutions, so the bigger the roster in these conditions, the better. Seems to be something serious because the player still is down. Not able to come off the field, but he is back up. Getting carried off the field, that's never a good sign. Isn't able to put weight on his foot either. Heartbreaking, heartbreaking. Speedy recovery. We'll get the number here shortly. Looks like it's 25. It's going to be... Actually, I don't have a 25 here. Is it 25 or 22? 25, right? 22. 22. Oh, that is Tas Raji. Tas Raji, we do wish you a speedy recovery. Oh, you hate to see that. Has to force the elevated feet. Oh, God, that just gave me flashbacks. Let's not go down memory lane. Speedy recovery for the player who's going to be attended here on the sideline. The Baltimore Kickers get us started here as we enter the 13th, the end of the 13th minute. Keep in mind we added the water break, so there's going to be some added time on stoppage. Here comes Baltimore Kickers. Can he find a teammate? Opts to go for the shot. It is blocked, and now it's back with the Kickers and quickly changes hands. It is Bierhalle now that has possession. It's Bierhalle that's on. Well defended. Here comes Groves. Groves looking for his teammate. Does well to hold possession. Cycles it back. It's back with Groves. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now in these last couple seconds from Baltimore Kicker. Usually they rush to go forward, and this time they've been a little bit more patient. It's been rewarded as that touch brings it down, has an opportunity, but not much comes of it. Likakis is the orchestrator of that touch. Alex Likakis. Here comes Baltimore kicker still with possession. Sends it back. Mulville, that's always going to be Mulville. Ellis tried to chip it, but it was Mulville who collects. Here comes Das Bierhalle. McKim on the ball. Fowler. Scarletta. Scarletta cuts it back, and it's McKim, the absolute powerhouse. McKim plays on his teammate. Can he get to it? Doesn't. Referee says that's a foul. It's going to be restarted here from the keeper. James Colham. McKim can do something here. Gets absolutely bodied. That's something you usually don't see, and well done. Will Bergs. Heroics right there to help out his keeper. Here comes the restart. Isn't able to keep possession, but it is a fortunate bounce. Ends up with possession. Finds his teammate. Back with Ellis. Ellis plays it out to Bergs. Bergs looking for the through ball. Doesn't find it. Here the ball goes out for a throw-in. It's going to be a throw-in here for Das Bierhalle. Opts to go long. Looking for the one and only McKim. Gets pushed in the back. Referee says that's a foul. This Bergs, man. The fact that the audacity to go with the power against the powerhouse is, I'm absolutely loving this. You always love to see that. Here comes the restart from Fowler. Playing it out wide. It's going to cycle around. Das Bierhalle is one of those teams that's very patient, not to rush. Scarletta. Through ball, lovely ball. Can he get to it? He does. No. Jinxed him. That was a lovely ball from Scarletta. Collecting the ball is routine here. Cohane with the restart. Baltimore kicker's going to look to get us started. Parini loses possession. But who else but McKim with the wonders. Groves defends well. McKim forced to settle for the corner. Well, Das Bierhalle committing numbers here. Leaving only 2 defenders, but 2 solid defenders. It's Mason Kelly and Dave Jacobs, one of 2 Jacobs brothers, the other being Andrew Jacobs, number 19. Fowler standing over the corner. Here comes a service from Fowler. Can he find his teammate? Doesn't. And now it's Baltimore Kickers on the counter. And Scarletta absolutely picking pockets there. Service. Keeper collects well. And now here comes Baltimore Kickers. Sebastian Aponte, who plays a lovely ball to Ramirez. Ramirez first shot, and Mulville too good of a keeper to let that one through. Granted, I've seen Mulville get surprised, but not today. Today is not the day. Fowler. Sends a ball down the field for Scarletta. Scarletta leaves it for his teammate. Betta plays it down the field for Scarletta. Now it's back with Richards. Richards, can he get to it? Flicks it on. And there's goal number 1 for Das Bierhalle. Betta played the pass. Richard just edges it past the keeper. I was, for the keeper, unfortunate, but very calculated for Das Bierhalle, and that's why they're number 3. For moments like that, I mean, Betta little pass right there, just enough for Richards to get onto it and to play it around the keeper. There was a defender tracking back and just couldn't get his footing right to clear it, and now 1-0 for Das Bierhalle. Let's check in the chats if we can get some score predictions here. Andrew, how's it going all the way in Italy? I hope you're enjoying the weather, not like we are right now. Here comes Baltimore Kickers. That number 10 for Baltimore Kickers, Kevin Garcia, is definitely one you want to keep an eye out on. Throw in here. The target was McKim. Hawkins forced to try to recover, and Baltimore Kickers does well to keep possession. Baltimore Kickers that stay in possession. Sebastian Ponte tried another through ball, but just played it behind his teammate. Throw in here. Ball goes sailing over the... Oh no, I thought it went over the fence, but fortunately it stayed in. Here comes Das Bierhalle. Holly sends it forward. It's Stevenson. Stevenson played the through ball for. Oh, correction, that was not Stevenson. That was Jacobs, I want to say. Here comes the service. McKim couldn't get it. It's Scarletta. Scarletta couldn't keep it in. Throw in for the Kickers. Sends it over. That was acrobatic from J.P. Groves. Bierhalle, it's Fowler. Fowler is known to take shots from that distance, does. And sails over. Asking for a replacement. Water break here for Baltimore Kickers and Bierhalle. Essential in this heat. I mean, we're what, 90 degrees right now? But from what we've seen thus far, Baltimore Kickers are starting to find their rhythm, starting to find moments, but in the end, it is Bierhalle who's in the lead, has the opportunities, has had more of the chances on goal and more of the possession in the final third. So Baltimore Kickers are going to have to use that speed of theirs and take the tempo away from Bierhalle. Any score predictions, Dono?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I think it might be maybe 2-1 Bierhalle.
I'm not sure if you ladies and gentlemen heard that, but Dono is saying a 2-1 win for Bierhalle. A win would, oh, let me check in the chat here. Andrew said, thank goodness it's very hot here, but I'm in the north and the south is worse. Well, my friend, we sympathize with pain. We're going through it ourselves. But yes, a win here for Bierhalle would only make it sweeter for the celebrations after this. As we mentioned, they have won the third place spot. They have secured it when A3 had their loss against Team United. A surprising loss, I should add. It was a 1-0 win for Team United earlier this week. And I mean, A3 was the one that was on the heels of Bierhalle, but now Bierhalle has secured mathematically their third place finish for the season. And a reminder, no playoffs, so the winner of the Maryland side will move on to play the winner of the Virginia side, which they will enter playoffs. We just saw Los Toros win against Dorados and Virginia Dreams win against Blazers. So we will see a Los Toros versus Virginia Dreams final in Virginia. Winner of that will move on to win Virginia and move on to face Steel Pulse, the champion of the Maryland Super Soccer League. That's an ominous sign. For those that didn't see, it was just a crow that soared here and landed. Why is it when I'm here, I see crows? It is a good omen here in Baltimore for the Ravens and for Edgar Allan Poe. Well, not so much Edgar Allan Poe. Here we go, back at it. Baltimore Kickers gets us started. Baltimore Kickers moving the ball around, trying to get something going here, but overwhelmed from the pressure. It's McKim. McKim plays on his teammate, and well defended. Again, Burgess is just so good early on. I mean, his 50-50 battles with McKim have been spot on, and that clearance right there was a crucial one because you had Reed Hawkins in the pocket there waiting. It's going to be Fowler here for the corner. Here comes the service from Fowler. Can he find his teammate? Well done. The keeper comes out but couldn't collect, and the ball's still alive, but it's Baltimore Kickers that are coming out playing. And a turnover. It's Jacobs who collected, and it's now McKim. McKim Opts to go with Fowler. Fowler for Jacobs and hit out by the defense of Baltimore Kickers. It's a good little moment there for Das Bierhalle. I really thought it was going to go in the way of Baltimore Kickers, but they gave it up right there in the midfield, or just before the midfield. Here's a throw, and a long throw. Finds his teammate, couldn't get a touch to it. There's a shot, but referee blew for a high kick. Was that Scarletta who got his leg that high? No way that was Scarletta. But if it was, shout outs to him. No disrespect, Sean Scarletta. He's going to come after me after this game. It's Baltimore kicker in possession now. Plays it up, Ponte. Burgess, correction. All the way back to the keeper, and now it's back with him. Here, Baltimore kickers are being patient with it, not rushing, looking for open possession, but here is Scarletta. Scarletta picks a pocket. McKim tried to force it to Hawkins. Isn't able to, but it's still McKim. Try to play it back to Jacobs, but loses it. And just like that, it's back with him. It's Fowler. Fowler plays it out wide. Scanning, finds Hawkins. Hawkins keeps possession under pressure. It's Fowler. Fowler has a shot. And deflected and out for a corner. You got to love Fowler, that he just is not shy with the shots. He does not care where he is. Something we saw earlier today where Purr United was just taking way too long in front of the box and wouldn't rip a shot. Ultimately, it ended up biting them, and they ended up losing 2-1. Late minutes, too. Talking about Division II. Here comes a service from Fowler. Finds a teammate, a header, saved off the line, and reflects off of Jacobs and back into the net. Goal number 2 for Das Bierhalle. I want to say that was Dave Jacobs. It was Dave Jacobs who got the bounce off the line. I mean, Groves saved it right off the line, and it bounced right into the path of Jacobs' foot. And 2-0 we are. Das Bierhalle is early on celebrating. This is gut-wrenching to watch for Baltimore Kickers, who really need this win. We're talking about relegation on the line here. Currently, standings are not taking into account the result right now, but Baltimore Kickers are sitting with 4 points, Ambition with 9. This is a must-win match. Here comes Das Bierhalle. Always calm Das Bierhalle. Das Bierhalle is in no rush. I remind you, they 2 goals right here. Even before this match, they already secured their 3rd place finish. So there is no rush for the Bierhalle. Hit out of bounds for 4 kickers to throw it in. Yeah, I mean, kickers have to find something. For me, 1-3. Oh, Andrew says 1-3 for Das Bierhalle. He's not as gracious as you are, Dono. That defender on the line risked being sent off, and he tried to deflect it with his arm. Yeah, it looked like it from this angle, but it did hit off his chest. He did extend his arm, but luckily it hit off his chest. But I saw what you meant. He risked it all and ultimately didn't really get to save it. Here comes Baltimore Kickers. Plays it in, but no one's home. It's the first real attack from Baltimore Kickers. Came from number 4. That's J.P. Groves. Oh, look, I just realized there's 2 Groves on this team. This team is another one of those that have siblings, just like the Jacobs brothers. Here comes the play, still alive for Baltimore Kickers. Finally cleared out. Well recuperated for the Kickers. And just hit wide, way wide. Mulville restarts it here. All the way in the back, sends it wide, just turns it over for Baltimore Kickers. It's Groves now. Groves is scanning, plays the through ball. Is it on? It is on. Can he get to it? No, Mulville collects. It was a good idea, just keeper is way too alert to it. Gabe Pratt was the target. Beautifully done by Das Bierhalle. That was Tyler Ayil who flicked it on like that to keep the play alive, and now it's well, we've seen some substitutions. Obviously, as we mentioned, it's in and out here. It's unlimited substitutions. So you'll see players coming in and coming out. Here comes a service. Can the keeper collect? He does. Baltimore Kickers now with the restart. Sends it wide. Baltimore Kickers, you would think a little bit more urgency would be needed. I mean, I get you have a whole nother half. You're only down by 2, but we're already in the 38th minute, and time is ticking.
Probably saving their energy for the second half.
I'm not sure if you all heard, but Dono says he thinks that they're probably saving it for the second half. But I'll say this. Baltimore Kickers has enough substitutions that they don't need to, right? They have 7 subs. Well, correction. They have 4 subs now due to the injury. They had 5, but now due to the injury, they only have 4. And they're under shade. As a comparison to Das Bierhalle, whose their substitutions are baking in the sun, and they only have 3. You got to take advantage of it. And we're also talking about a Das Bierhalle who, like, they're not getting younger. So you got to take advantage of everything you have to your ability. So you got to stretch the field. You got to use the speed. You got to make them run. If you don't do that, it's a long day. It's a long day for you because Das Bierhalle is so good on the ball. Is so good at keeping possession, managing tempo. You just gotta outwork them and make them run. See right there, he decides to cut back. He should have looked at the wide right here. Here comes Baltimore Kickers, plays a wide ball. Can he get to it? is not able to. Well, that shield was beautifully done. I want to say that was Holly who did that, but I could be wrong. Might be one of the Jacobs brothers. Mulville with the restart. Sends it down the field. Somehow Baltimore Kickers comes away with it, but it ultimately ends up in the feet of Das Bierhalle, and here comes Bierhalle. Quickly turned over. Now it's Baltimore Kickers having time and space. You had the play that he does. It's Grove. J.P. Grove gets taken down. Referee says play on. And Das Bierhalle puts an end to that energy. Out for a throw in. It's now Aiden Grove. Aiden Grove throws it in. My word. Gets absolutely muscled off by Holly. Holly loses possession though. And now there's a gap in the defense as Holly has to track back, but then turns it over. That's not what you want to see. But then Fowler uncharacteristically sends it out for a throw in. So all is right in the world. Here comes the Kickers. Sends it down the nope, send it into the middle. My word, what a tackle from Jacobs. Betta leaves it. It's Fowler who plays the through ball. It's for Betta. Betta couldn't get to it. It Groves does. You gotta love that, man. No nonsense clearing. You don't get that too often nowadays. Everybody wants to be tactical. Just put a foot through it.
Yeah, sometimes a simple approach is the best approach.
Waiting for the restart here. Sends it in. Header. Couldn't put a direction to it, so it's Grove who has to clear it out. Sends it, but just way too wide. Holly was all over it, but so was Mulville. Beautifully done. Oh, tried to play it to his teammate, but couldn't get it through. And here comes Baltimore Kickers now. Back with Grove. Bole asking for opts to go forward. Mulville collects. Putting life and limb on the line. Gotta love it. Great move there to release himself. Now it's the throw in. It's the little things for Das Bierhalle that always gets me. It's the little cuts here. Knows how to fill in space. I mean, we saw this team when they were a few years back. We're talking about national championship level. Well done, but no one's there. The intended target was Betta. Baltimore Kickers here having a moment to gather thoughts, but opts to go for the long ball, and it's Holly that's 50-50 with Groves. It's not a battle I would bet on. Here's a throw in as we head into the last 2 minutes, or sorry, the last minute of regular time. Plays it out wide. There's space. Finds his teammate. Cuts back. I want to say that's Matt Ellis. Matt Ellis Nope, correction. That's not Mount Analyst. That's Will Burgess. Beta wins that battle somehow. Here comes the restart for Das Bierhalle. Throws it in. Calm, collected, sends it down the field for Beta. Beta in a pocket just completely by himself. But Baltimore Kickers does well to surround him, and then Das Bierhalle collects. Here comes Jacobs. Jacobs has a shot blocked. Still alive. Richards sends a through ball. Referee says that's offsides, but goalie collects, so play on we do. And that is all she wrote for the first half of this match. Das Bierhalle leading 2-0, being the more in control, the more aggressive of the two sides. We're going to take a little quick break here as we wait for the second half of this match. Do make sure you hit that subscribe, like, comment. We'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back to DMV Sports Media. I'm Gio, your play-by-play. On the camera, Mr. Dono Wallace. Hopefully you are enjoying it from a cool place. We have the second half of Das Bierhalle versus Baltimore Kickers. Currently, Das Bierhalle is leading 2-0 against the Kickers. Mind you, this match means a lot more to the Kickers than it does to Das Bierhalle, as Das Bierhalle has already secured the third place finish, as where Baltimore Kickers are fighting for survival in the Division One. Result in favor of Das Bierhalle, I'm pretty sure, solidifies the return of Baltimore Kickers to Division Two. Here we go, Das Bierhalle. It is already quickly. Great movements from Das Bierhalle, but it turnover, and it was Beta who released the ball for Hawkins and just couldn't get it on his foot, and now it's a throw in for Baltimore Kickers. One of the shining lights for Baltimore Kickers right there is that center back Will Burgess, who has had really good moments here, especially against McKim. Not a easy target to defend against. Referee says he's on, but it's defended well from Hawkins. Hawkins steps up, and that was an opportunity right there for Baltimore Kickers. Almost an own goal if it wasn't for the awareness of Mulville. Cross came in, and it was Mulville who saved it off of the deflection from his defender. Scarletta turns it over. Now it's Baltimore Kickers here. Burgess plays it out wide to, I don't have a 16. I thought I had a 16. Unknown player, let's say. Holly way out wide, but way up top. Having to track back. But Holly strolls back. Jacobs collects. Puts Hawkins under pressure. Hawkins forced to just send it down the field. Now it's with Baltimore Kickers. Groves intends to collect, but beat out by Holly. Here comes Baltimore Kickers with some sparks of life. Referee, he says he's on it. Can he beat the keeper? He doesn't. Great defending. Tried to have a shot, but couldn't generate enough power behind it. That was Matt Ellis, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm going to wait to see if he turns around, because I want to say I did see an 8, but it is Matt Ellis. Who's wearing number 8? Is that 9 or 8? Oh, 9. His shorts that look like it said Anthony Ramirez. Oh, you're a saver, in case we need it. Here comes.
Our goalie's not coming in until halftime. Could I play his goal?
Are you registered? Big boot for Baltimore Kickers here. It's Mulville who sends it down the field. It's just the urgency that Das Bierhalle plays is just edging out Baltimore Kickers. Great move from Beta. Beta keeps it under so much pressure. Here comes Holly. Forced to go all the way back to Andrew Jacobs. Gives it away. That's Matt Ellis. Try to play in. Here comes Das Bierhalle. Has time and space. Lovely cut in. He's going to have it, rips it, but couldn't generate much power to it. It's an easy save for the keeper. That's my favorite thing right there. When forwards are not afraid to take shots, regardless of the distance or the pressure. Referee blows a whistle. It looks like there's an injury here. Grove, number 2 for Baltimore kicker, comes out. Substitution makes his way on. It's 2 substitutions. Reminder, substitutions are allowed to come on and off the field. Here comes Baltimore kickers, but forced to go back to the defense. That pass back was left question marks in my head. But here comes Burgess. Burgess plays the long ball, looking for Ramirez. Groves gets away with one. There's a foul on Hawkins. Here comes Das Bierhalle from the restart. It's Andrew Jacobs over top of it. Andrew Jacob sends it down the field, looking for Sean Scarletta. Scarletta couldn't keep the touch. It's Burgess who comes out with it. He has time, puts in the through ball. Flag stays down, but it doesn't matter. Das Bierhalle cleans it up. Lovely move to get rid of the deep pressure. Still them. Place him on. Keeps possession. Referee says no foul. Play on. Or it actually gives an advantage. It's Betta. Betta takes down his defender. Referee says it's a foul in favor of Baltimore kickers. Betta was waiting for the advantage to be called back, but it isn't. It's gone in the way of Baltimore kickers. You got to get back into it and focus. You got to let it go. I mean, you're up 2-0, so. Jacobs is starting to get heated. You got to watch that. Referees will not keep their cards in their pocket. Great move. Has time. Mulville comes out and spills it for a corner. Here comes a corner from Baltimore kickers. Sends it in, plays it low, front post, cleared out. It's still alive. He let it go out for a throw-in for some reason. Aponte tried to send it in, only to find Scarletta. Touched, couldn't control it, but takes a fortunate bounce, and his team bails him out. Have a good one, Fran. Clear it out for a throw in here for Das Bierhalle. I mean, this is a fair way to finish the game. A 2-0 victory for Das Bierhalle. It's not that Baltimore Kickers have been bad. It's not that. It's just Das Bierhalle, man. It's the little things that really separate them from other teams. It's the small spaces that they win. It's also why they just played Steel Pulse to a 4-3 loss not too long ago. I wouldn't say it was last Sunday. One of the few teams that could push Steel Pulse to that. So throw in here for Das Bierhalle. Jacobs here with the throw in. Sends it in. Long throw. Looking for Hawkins. Correction, that's not Hawkins. That's. I'll hold that thought because here comes Baltimore Kickers. He plays the ball to Ramirez. Ramirez couldn't get it. There were shouts of the ball to be played earlier, but Alex Likakis just took a little bit too long there to play that ball. Ramirez is down. Anthony Ramirez looks like he might have pulled something there on that stride. Referee's going to ask for a substitution, I'm sure. Ramirez still holding his quad. Correction, his hammy. Thought he was holding the front. Anyways, here, speedy recovery substitution has been made. And now it's Baltimore Kickers here who have Das Bierhalle on the back foot. Great tackle there. And just like that, oh no, jinxed them. Hawkins forced to do some heroics. Another substitution. It looks like it's Fowler back onto the field. And Jacobs finally gets some respite. Big boo for Burgess to find his teammate. Here comes Das Bierhalle. Almost gives it away, but Fowler bails him out. But ultimately, it does go to the way of Baltimore Kickers. There's a Kevin Garcia. Garcia gives it up. Kevin Garcia, I was expecting a lot. I'll hold that thought as Baltimore Kickers has an opportunity. Doesn't really turn into anything. So I was mentioning Kevin Garcia. I was really expecting a lot more from him, but he is such a talented player. Technically, but just hasn't really found his way with this Kickers team just yet. Cuts back. You got to get a little bit more vertical here, Baltimore Kickers, if you want to create something. It's Garcia again. Garcia plays it out wide. Has time. Can he send it in? Cuts back. Chooses not to. Back to the midfield. Midfield sends it in for. It was going to be a pass for number 25. That's TBD. Because I don't have 25 on my sheet. That's Alex Likakis. It's a great win right there. That 50-50. Is Beta. Great tackle here. And here comes Likakis. Likakis can take the space. Can he take it on? He has runners. Not sure what happened there. He loses control of the ball and goes out for Das Bierhalle. Now it's Das Bierhalle on the counter, but Burgess doing things for his team. Likakis, that was a great touch. Can't stay on the ball. Referee says that's a corner. That was a great moment there. Oops. It's a corner and ultimately doesn't turn into anything. It was Garcia who sent it in. And now it's back with Mulville. Sends it down the field. Entering the 62nd minute. Correction, we are in the 62nd minute, halfway through the 62nd minute. And things have gone the way of Das Bierhalle. Check in the chat here. This is, for the most part, done and dusted, as regardless of what happens today in this game. I mean, unless Baltimore Kickers comes back in these next 30-ish minutes, less than 30 minutes, like 38 minutes, Kevin Garcia, you gotta love the technical ability of the gentleman. But then just the execution of that pass still has some development left. But as I was saying, the result of this match, unless it's a Baltimore Kickers win, it doesn't change anything, because Das Bierhalle has already secured the third spot in the league. Baltimore Kickers, the only thing they needed was a win here. Anything else is really just going to sell them short of staying up to Division I. It's a beautiful ball. Likakis keeps it in. Can he find the cutback to play it to his team? Doesn't. His team bails him out. It's a slide tackle there. Referee says that's a PK. That was a tackle on number 28. I want to say it was 28, was brought down. And here comes a PK. It was one of the Jacobs brothers who committed that tackle. I want to say it was Andrew Jacobs. It was Andrew Jacobs who put that tackle in on number 7, Aponte. And it's number 26 who's stepping up, Mike Jeter. Mike Jeter's going to be the one who takes this for Baltimore Kickers. I may have spoken to you early, and this could be breathing life into the Kickers. Referee blows his whistle. Mike Jeter has a shot and doesn't beat Mulville. Has a second opportunity and sends it flying. Mulville comes out on top. on this duel between him and Mike Jeter. Mulville, we said it early on, a top keeper showing his class right then and there. Mike Jeter did just put it down the middle, and all Mulville had to do was get low and quick. And he did. Couldn't keep spilled out, and then Mike Jeter just had a second opportunity and absolutely whiffs it to the top, the field goal post. And now it's Das Bierhalle who are on the counter. That was the opportunity for Baltimore Kickers to get some life here, and referee gets hit, so that means it's ball's stopped and goes in the way of team with the possession last. Fowler gets us going here. What a gut break or heartbreak PK for Baltimore Kickers. They had an opportunity to do something there, to fight for their survival, but Mulville ever. Here comes Hawkins. Hawkins coming down the line. Opts to cut back. It's Fowler. Fowler scaling. Finds Scarletta. Scarletta plays it out wide. Is there a cross? There is, but there's no one there. Only to a Baltimore Kicker defender. Here comes the water break of the second half. Slancha making an appearance here. After this game, we have Slancha versus Itihad. Another game that had some, still has some weight to it. The result earlier on really solidified Itihad's spot in the playoffs, but placements are still up for grabs for Itihad. A win for Itihad could see MSI go into the fifth place, and Itihad going into the fourth place to play Touch Kings. This will be a great matchup to watch. The heat seems like it's starting to subside, or is it just that we've been in the shade long enough?
It's got to be a shade.
Okay. We're going to assume it's the shade. We are sitting at 94 degrees. It's never a fun time when it's that hot. But these teams are doing it. And Das Bierhalle is looking ever so much the third place team. Itihad making an appearance. Both teams arriving here. Both teams getting ready for this match. Das Bierhalle making their way back onto the field. Das Bierhalle has taken the field. Still waiting for Baltimore kickers. Sitting here at the 70th minute of the match. Only 20 minutes here left. We can assume some stoppage time for the water break. But I mean, it's a tall task for Baltimore kickers. They had an opportunity right there with that penalty, but Mulville took the dreams right out of Mike Jeter. And now the kickers have to fight. Have to fight if they want to stay up in Division One. Das Bierhalle is going to be the one with the throw-in to get us started. It's going to be Mason Kelly. Haven't caught his name too often today. Mason Kelly to get us started. Sends in the ball. McKim, but the keeper comes out with it or punches it away. Hawkins plays it to Fowler. Fowler scanning, playing it out wide, but oh, what a lovely touch. Oh, almost a lovely touch for Solinger. Lukakis plays it to Jeter. Jeter plays it to Lukakis, but it's Kelly who puts on the heroics. Referee says play on. Grove comes in with a heavy tackle, comes out with possession now is Baltimore kickers. Baltimore kickers now. Burgess to Garcia. Garcia tries to play it out to Lukakis. He does. Plays in a square ball, and Grove just misses it. That was a great moment right there for Baltimore kickers, but Grove just couldn't get a touch to it. Grove just absolutely whiffed it. He must have forgot he had a left foot. Or I guess in that case it would have been a right foot. But that was a good moment for a good build-up play. Ultimately goes to nothing. Garcia puts McKim on the floor. Lukakis, great touch is Jeter now. Jeter gets taken off the ball. Lukakis has a shot. Mulville comes out. Jeter just landed oddly on the ball, and that's why he's down right now. Going to be a drop ball for Mulville. Mulville picks it up, and Jeter is substituted off after that injury. Mulville sends it down the field to McKim. McKim's one-on-one, but now is hit off by Grove, and another throw in. Das Bierhalle is clearly just feeling it. The limited substitutions are starting to kick in. You see the energy starting to die down. It's going to get interesting here in the next 15 minutes to see if Baltimore kickers can take advantage of Das Bierhalle starting to slow down. Burgess coming down the field. It's just way too slow for Baltimore kickers. They got to pick up the intensity. It's Garcia, lovely turn, has time and space, taking it. Garcia trying to cut through two defenders. Comes out with it, helps, bailed out by his teammate, Lagakis as well. Can he head it in? Sends it in. Referee says that's out for a goal kick. Just too slow for Baltimore kickers. They got to pick up the pace. I mean, that cross should have came in way earlier. Moville sends it down the field. But to who else? To Kim. Love a little scoop and hit out for Das Bierhalle. Under 15 minutes now of regular play. Das Bierhalle. Knowing they're feeling it, slowly taking the throw in. Here's Hawkins with the throw in. Goes for McKim. Oh, no, that's not McKim. That's Ehale. Baltimore kickers. Now without Burgess back there. Oh, I lied. Burgess is on the ball right now. Played the ball, but Stevenson couldn't get the control. It is Fowler going all the way back to Moville. Moville taking his time, sends it down the field. Couldn't get a connection with his teammate. Now it's going to be a Baltimore kickers throw in. It's Grove. Absolutely sent flying by Jacobs. Oh, no, correction. That's Holly. Holly sent it flying. Clear it out, and it's going to be a restart for Moville as he slowly strolls back to get the ball. I will tell you, hunger is starting to set in. Hunger is starting to set in. After this, we have some celebrations with Das Bierhalle. We have the third place celebrations for them as they have set and confirmed that their seed will be third place. And this year we do have cash prizes for us, or Super Soccer League is giving out cash prizes for third, second, and first. Unfortunately, no playoffs, but Steel Pulse will be moving on to play the winner in Virginia. So we have some celebrations to do with Das Bierhalle. They'll be off to the side, so you'll be moving on to the game against Slancha versus Etihad, a much awaited matchup, as that is the final match for Slancha this season, as they have earned their promotion into the first division. Oh, here comes Bowleys. I said Bowleys. Das Bierhalle. Das Bierhalle sends it across. Well defended by Baltimore kickers. That's a tough hit, but shakes it off. Play on. Oh no, Lukakis, can he make something happen here? It's Jacobs. He has a teammate making the run. He chooses not to play him. He cuts it in for the shot, and just like that, Hawkins picks his pocket. You had to seen your teammate. You have had to release that ball. Grove, if I was Grove, I would be fuming. Teammate does the heroics to keep it in. Grove is still there fighting. Grove still there. Keeps it alive for his team. It's just the decision making has not gone the way of Baltimore kickers. You had to play that ball early. Here comes a cross. No one's home. Cut out by Holly. Now it's Baltimore kickers again. Sends it in, but it went out of bounds. Now it's going to be a throw-in. That was a good moment for Baltimore kickers that ultimately, due to decisions of one player, didn't turn into much more. It happens. You see your name in lights and you just want to go for the shot, but it's a handball, if what I heard, in favor of Das Bierhalle. There's the first card of the match. It's unbelievable that it's taken 81 minutes for the first yellow to be shown. I didn't see who the yellow was for. It was for a handball, though. Number 28, that's going to be, nope, sorry, 29, Vinny Parmini. Parmini gets the yellow card. Das Bierhalle has a great opportunity here. Sends in the shot. Oh my word, almost. Gets the third. Keeper gets fingertips to it, and it's out for a corner. Call hand. Just fingertips saved. Here comes a corner now. It's going to be Fowler as per usual. That stands over top of it. Sends in the corner. Teammate puts a direction to it, but couldn't get it low enough. And Baltimore kickers survive the onslaught. Under 8 minutes. Can't foresee too much stoppage time being added here. Burgess coming down the field. Still him. Lovely ball. Lukakis saws his teammate making the run, plays it to him. It's a beautiful ball. What can they do here? Sends in the cross. No, couldn't get it under control. Thought he had another runner behind him. Sebastian Ponte just should have took a touch there. But that was another good attacking moment for Baltimore kickers that ends up into not much really of anything. Burgess. Love the fight there. Well, ultimately goes in the way of Das Bierhalle. Benta. Benta decides to cut back and cycles out to Jacobs. Jacobs to Fowler. Fowler to Hawkins. Scarletta lets it to Hawkins. Fowler getting too cheeky with it. Sends it flying, and now it's going to be a throw-in for Baltimore kickers. And here comes the kickers. Still plenty of time in here for them to try to get something, but to little avail, and it's Lukakis that's on it. Cuts in, finds his teammate, Aponte. Aponte has a shot, and it's a good moment for the kickers, but couldn't put direction on it. It's going to be a restart here for Mulville. Mulville sends it in. Beta, who has an opportunity, plays it to, not willingly to Fowler, but it does make its way to Fowler. Fowler to Jacobs. Jacobs opts to go back. Beta still with the possession. Somehow he comes out with it. Try to play it on. Referee says that's a foul. It's going to be Fowler standing on top of it. It's looks like he's going to go straight at goal. Does so. Referee gets hands on it. Beautiful save from the the goalie. It's the heat. It's the heat. It's the heat getting to me, y'all. I said referee got the hands on it. Ball gets sent down the field. Garcia. What can Garcia do? We know how technically gifted he is. Plays it out to Aponte. Here comes Baltimore kickers. Can they send a cross? Does. But just like that, Mulville collects. We're now entering the last 5 minutes of the game for the regular time. Can expect potential some stoppage time, but not too much. Beta couldn't control it. Baltimore kickers comes out with it. Sends it down the field. Can Grove get something there? It's a great battle against Holly. Holly cuts the better of the two. Now it's McKim. McKim tried to play it to Beta, but ultimately goes out for a throw-in. Here comes the Baltimore kickers. Potential, some of the last attacks we'll be seeing here. Try to play it in, but couldn't get a control. Burgess plays it to Aponte. Aponte plays it to the midfield. Give and go, but it's Holly who defends well and sends it down the field. Here is Baltimore kickers. Grove gets pushed in the back. Referee says play on. Scarletta plays it out wide. Well defended. Burgess loses possession, but his teammate bails him out. They opt to go. So sorry about that. Here comes Grove, sends it for his brother. Holly puts a shoulder on it. Referee says that's a foul. It's going to be quickly. I thought it was going to be quickly taken, but it's. Grove. Referee says the ball is a little bit higher. JK. It's a good moment here for Baltimore Kickers. I don't know if he has the power behind his legs to put it on frame, but definitely can serve it into his teammates. Here comes the service. Lukakis gets a touch, flicks it on, and it's ultimately cleared out by Das Bierhalle. Grove's still in play, sends it in again. Burgess almost gets a touch to it. Mulville with the heroics. And there's the goal for Baltimore Kickers. After a lot of ping pong, it's the goal that gives them potential life. That was number 18, Ilias Kikas, who is the brother of the one who orchestrated it all. That is some life given to Baltimore Kickers in the 90th minute, 91st minute to be exact. Not sure how much time referees are going to give this game. And that's all he wrote. Baltimore Kickers end on a semi-high low note with a goal, but Das Bierhalle does what they need to and end the match 2-1 win for them. Now we go on to make the celebrations for Das Bierhalle. Baltimore Kickers all but guaranteed to move down to Division II. I've been Gio. Dono Wallace on the camera. We'll be back here for the Slancha versus Itihad here kicking off at 3 p.m.